that idea?
I was healing from surgeries that I was having to repair a hernia, and the surgeries developed complications and turned really nightmarish, and I had a lot of time to think on my own about stuff. And this really just was a way to kind of exercise a few demons.
Wow. So it wasn't just a medication making you good, right?
No, not that. This is pure horror.
So what were some of the difficulties in maybe shooting the film, or?
Well, the biggest challenge was getting everyone together. We were shooting in Maine, and we had people coming from New York and from Los Angeles to work on this. Our effects guy was all in Los Angeles, and my lead actress was in Los Angeles. So they built all the effects out there and then had to ship them out. So we were involving a lot of people in Maine into this production as well. So the toughest thing was coordinating people who were coming from both coasts up to Maine, fairly remote location. So just coordinating all of that was definitely the biggest challenge.
So how hard was it to condense your idea into a short film?
Oh, not hard at all. I mean, this was meant as a short film, an expression in that form, in short. So I didn't have a bigger vision, a longer feature vision for it when I was writing the short. It was only once we were done with the short and saw what we had and how much fun it was that I started building ideas for the feature length. So that was a great leap to make, to turn it into a feature, which we've done and are looking for, to start production on that. But when I initially wrote this, it was always considered a short.
So your feature is an extension of this film, or is it completely different? Or
it picks up right where this ends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. I can't wait to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We in America have a fascination with junk. Personally, I really wanted English dirty novels. But what was your fascination with the subject? What made you tackle such a kind of robust subject? And another, what made you do that?
Well, originally I was approached about the subject of Lord Montagu by a guy. I was doing some commercial advertising for this company, and he said, "Hey, my uncle has a fascinating story. His name's Lord Montagu." And of course, the title Lord was immediately fascinating. And when I went over to England for the first time, I realized that the Montagu family, had never spoken about a lot of things that happened in Lord Montagu's life. And I was able to gain their trust, and they were opening up to me about things that they had never told anybody. And that fascinated me, number one. And two, I'm an American. I've never seen a stately home, which looks like a castle. Everything was new. I'd never even been to England. So I had so many fresh questions, and at first I was like, oh, I don't know if I can tell this story. And then I realized, hey, maybe we're the perfect people to tell it, because we have all these new ideas that maybe if someone in Britain might be like, oh, we know what a stately home is. And so really, I think it was just a perfect marriage where the English and the noblemen that we were meeting, they were trying to explain to us new things, and we were asking good questions. So I just became absolutely fascinated. And also, when it's your job to tell a man's life story, I mean, that's a burden and also a very huge responsibility. So for 4 years, I was just working extremely hard to make sure that we could tell the story the best we could.
Well, so 4 years, you said?
4 years, yeah. Spent 4 years, yeah.
So I'm sure you had to do a lot of research as well, not only interviews. What kind of materials did you guys
Well, the great thing is the Montagu family opened up their archives to us, and so we have never before seen footage and photos from their archives. And Montagu's life has literally been documented since he was born, and so we used a lot of that. A whole lot of research went into it. We interviewed a lot of historians. We interviewed everybody from historians to celebrities to friends, people on the street, you name it. Nick Mason of Pink Floyd, a member of the royal family, famous race car drivers. There's a little bit of everybody in this film.
Well, it's amazing that you did get them to open up, because when people see a camera, especially if they're more private or they have kind of secrets that they want to keep hidden. What was your secret then? Was it just that you were an American and they really
I prayed. I don't know. I prayed every time, like, please let this interview go well. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's because, like I said, the trust factor, I guess, and they saw how excited I was. So I really wanted to tell this story the best way possible. And they appreciated that. And also we were able to inject some humor and make the interviews lighthearted, and a lot of that's in the film as well. So, yeah, I don't know. And I also think they're intrigued that I was from Texas.
Oh, wow.
So that always helps.
They love us, right?
Hey, English love Texans, They think we're...
Texans love English.
Exactly. it's great. Yeah.
So one last question: did they actually get to see the film?
Yes, actually, we did a private screening at the BAFTA in London with the Montagu family and everybody else involved, and they saw it. And you know, some of it was difficult for them to watch, but when they saw it with a big audience, I think that's the key. Is when you see how other people perceive the film, you realize, you know, they respect you for really being honest about and telling it the full story of things. So he got a standing ovation at the end of the screening, and it was a great night.
And what a good thing for them to have, you know, kind of like a record of their family on film.
Yeah, I mean, they actually have a feature film made about, you know, a member of their family, and that just goes to testament of Lord Montagu. There's not many people you can make a film about their life and it be entertaining. And his life, there was so many things we had to cut a lot out. So yeah, it's a really great film that it's going to keep you on your toes when you watch it.
All right, so what's next for you?
What's next for me? I'm actually working in development on a project about the world's greatest card magician who happens to be blind. And so yeah, that one we're working on right now. The working title is called Dealt, and we've got people like Copperfield and Chuck Norris and all these other people that we're going to be working with, hopefully.
Well, congratulations. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah, the film, it's a short film which Eric produced and I directed called The First Hope, and it's set in 1989. It's about a young boy who watches The Empire Strikes Back on his VHS, and he sees the scene where Princess Leia kisses Luke Skywalker, and because of that is moved to develop his first crush on his older sister. So it's a confused coming-of-age story mixed up with Star Wars.
About what movies do to us.
Yeah.
So you're the producer?
Yeah.
Okay, so is this your story?
Is this my story?
Jeremy
Is
didn't
it like
write it.
That little boy.
Yeah, man, 7 for 7 on these questions. No, sure. I mean, it's not. The story is not autobiographical entirely, but a lot of it is drawn from, you know, my memories growing up, the writer Austin Reynolds' memories growing up, and honestly, it felt really universal to me. It felt like a story that, you know, anybody, not just anyone of our generation or anyone of our gender, but pretty much anybody could identify with, and it's not as much about the incest of it all, right? It's more about, like Eric said, the way when we're growing up we're so easily impressed by the movies that we watch, and it's just kind of exploring that idea in as honest and truthful a way as we could. Yeah.
So how hard was it to make a short film? Let's wrap it all up in a short.
It's hard. I mean, I feel like in a lot of ways making a short is more difficult than making a feature, because you're trying to tell, especially when you're trying to tell a story in a kind of classical sense, you don't have a lot of time, and nobody wants to sit around that long. So it's tricky. It's tricky making it all fit within a nice box. But I think the process for us is, I mean, you just kind of keep making films, and each film has a different kind of set of rules that it ascribes to. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, every short, especially shorts, are different, right? There's so much diversity, but I think Jeremy was trying to tell like an actual story with a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it is really hard to make a short film like that is still unique and interesting and holds people's attention, because thousands of shorts get made every year, and it's hard to make something that's fresh and fun, right? But I think we pulled it off here. So Star Wars and incest is not something I've seen a lot of shorts about.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a winning combination.
How hard was it to get the rights to the clip?
Actually, Lucasfilm was I wouldn't say easy to deal with, but like they were pretty straightforward with us.
They were great.
And they were yes.
Yeah.
They gave us the rights to use the clip that we wanted, and they were awesome to deal with. So
they didn't take your soul or anything?
No, not at all. Actually, I mean they were very willing to work with us as students and to give us the rights to use, you know, for festivals and things like this. So they knew we weren't going to make $1 million off of it, so they were okay with it.
Are you fans of Lucas in Love? Have you seen that short film?
Yeah, George Lucas in Love.
Yeah.
It was that was an early reference for us in kind of figuring out where we stood on the spectrum of Star Wars
like
biography. I guess. Yeah, no, that's a great short film. It's very different in tone from ours, but I don't know. It's endlessly fun.
We did watch it though.
Yeah, it was
a
the
VHS
first
copy of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Making a movie about people watching VHSs, so we had to watch that movie on VHS.
Well, awesome. Congratulations, and thank you for talking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.